For 220 years, the truth stayed locked beneath Oak Island, but when Rick Lagina pried open that ancient hatch, what he saw inside was worse than he ever imagined. Something that should have stayed buried. The darkness inside wasn't just empty space, it was alive, pulsing with an eerie presence that made the air thick and heavy. Tune in as the team pushes forward, unaware of what lurks just beyond the threshold. Oak Island's deepest secret, darkness stared back at him from the hole, deep and endless, a mouth ready to swallow him whole inside. The air felt thick, heavy, charged with something old and waiting as his flashlight flickered across the space. Shadows twisted and moved like they had a life of their own. He wasn't alone down there. Something was watching. Then the whisper came, his name in a voice that shouldn't exist. For centuries, Oak Island has been a playground for mystery lovers and fortune seekers. Theories about buried pirate gold, hidden Templar relics, or even long-lost manuscripts have fueled endless digging, but nobody expected this. Experts had been analyzing the ground beneath the island for years, using everything from sonar to 3D mapping. Steve, their data wizard, was already feeding the latest readings into a digital model, trying to make sense of the underground maze. One thing stood out, a square wall, too precise to be natural, tucked away inside the cavern, a man-made structure deliberately placed there centuries ago. Marty Lagina, Rick's brother, couldn't stop staring at the sonar images. It wasn't just a cave, this was something bigger, something planned. Could it be a vault, a trap, a passage leading even deeper? Theories bounced around the team, but one thing was clear, whatever was down there, someone had gone through a lot of trouble to keep it hidden. There was no turning back now. Cameras were rolling, capturing every second as the team prepped for the next phase of digging. The Money Pit, Oak Island's most infamous mystery, had never been more promising. As soon as they started digging deeper, water rushed in, fast and relentless. The ground was working against them, swallowing their progress as soon as they made it 65 feet down. The battle with water became an all-out war. Pumps ran non-stop, but the deeper they went, the worse it got. If they couldn't stop the flooding, the entire operation was in danger. The team had been fighting to keep the tunnel stable when Duma Contracting, their trusted digging crew, hit something strange, a hidden cavern, separate from the money pit, lined with wooden beams. Rick stood at the edge, staring into the darkness below. His gut told him this wasn't just another dead end. This was part of something bigger. Maybe a secret chamber, a hidden escape route, a burial site. The possibilities were endless and terrifying. Oak Island had seen countless diggers come and go, each convinced they were on the brink of a historic discovery. Some swore they had found clues, only to end up with empty hands and empty pockets. But this wasn't just another false lead. This was real. Too real. For every discovery, Oak Island seemed to throw a new problem their way. Some skeptics had long said the island was nothing more than a money-making machine, a never-ending cycle of digging and hoping, just to keep viewers hooked. But those standing at the edge of that newly discovered cavern knew the truth. They had spent years chasing shadows, piecing together half-told stories, hunting for proof of something buried so long ago that history itself had started to forget. Yet now, standing on the edge of this new discovery, the weight of it all pressed down harder than ever. Every old map, every weathered clue, every cryptic legend, they had all pointed to something. This was it. The water made everything more difficult, creeping into every crack, filling the spaces they needed to work. It had happened before, of course. The island seemed designed to flood, a built-in defense against those who dared to dig too deep. But there was no way to back down. If they stopped now, the entrance could be lost again, swallowed up by mud in time, left waiting for the next group of believers to come along and try their luck. Each shift in the beam sent a groan through the cavern, a sound that made even the most experienced diggers pause. The wooden supports holding up the walls were ancient, too fragile for comfort, and yet they were still standing. Someone had built this carefully, deliberately, with a purpose. The deeper they went, the more it became clear this wasn't just a random hiding place. Someone had expected to return. Someone had left this behind, meant to be found again or meant to stay hidden forever. Oak Island's unimaginable treasures, this cave's contents have caught people's attention worldwide, making many wonder if it will finally answer some of the island's old questions. They are counting on Steve, a data integration expert, to blend this new information into a detailed 3D model of what's below the surface. The whole team is excited to see what this model will show about the underground structures and their historical importance. One thing that really caught Marty Lagina's interest was the sonar image of a square wall in one part of the cave. This odd feature has sparked various theories within the team. They think this wall might tell them more about the plans and aims of those who previously looked for treasures in the money pit. These discoveries are important. They give new hints about past activities on Oak Island, showing that the underground areas are more complex than thought before. The team is now closely looking at these clues, trying to understand the history and efforts of those who explored the island long ago. This new find could be the key to figuring out the historical events that have intrigued many who have followed Oak Island's story over the years. As Steve works on the 3D model, the rest of the team discusses why people might have built structures inside the cave. Some think it was a hiding spot for valuables, while others guess it might lead to a bigger hidden area. Each team member has their own theory, but they all share one goal: to discover what's under Oak Island at the money pit. Their determination grows as they imagine the treasures that might be hidden there. They decide to explore deeper into the cave, driven by the chance to find important items, with cameras set to record their exploration. They prepare for more digging the next day. Rick Lagina and Craig Tester lead the work at the money pit, helped by Scott Barlow and workers from Duma Contracting Limited. They face a big problem. Water keeps filling the shaft, making it hard to dig deeper. About 65 feet underground, the team focuses on an area where water leaks in. Despite their efforts, the water keeps coming, creating a big challenge that might change their plans. As they deal with this, they find something new and unexpected. The ongoing excitement and determination might make some people wonder if the main goal is to keep the TV show's audience interested rather than making real historical discoveries. The island has been searched many times, with old stories told again for each new audience. Each season seems to look at the same areas and the same stories, always finding just enough to keep viewers watching but not enough to end the story. Critics might say that if the island had truly important treasures or artifacts, they would have been found by now with the advanced technology and resources available. Yet, the digging and filming go on, driven by hopes of discovery. This long story at Oak Island might actually be more about keeping high viewer ratings and ongoing financial support than about the discoveries themselves. The real value of Oak Island may not be in the ground, but in the stories that come from the efforts to explore it. Whether or not the team finds the treasures they seek, Oak Island's greatest treasure may be the stories from their adventures. Recently, Duma Contracting Limited found a new cavern about 65 feet deep, just outside a key area on Oak Island. Interestingly, this cavern had wooden beams, suggesting there might be a man-made structure under the island. Rick Lagina, always ready to follow new leads, wondered what this could mean. Could this tunnel lead to a hidden chamber filled with valuable treasures or important historical artifacts? As Rick looked into the newly discovered space, he realized that what seemed like a minor setback might actually be a major discovery. This cavern might provide some answers to long-standing questions about the island. However, there's an immediate challenge to handle: the water leaking into the site. Managing this water is crucial for any further exploration. Unexpected discoveries awaited the team below Oak Island, the gateway to Oak Island's lost wealth. They were joined by Blaine Carrick, an expert in underwater imaging, who began to assess the island's subterranean features. Their initial task involved exploring the cave at depths between 140 and 142 feet to determine if there were signs of human modifications. They also searched for any entrances or exits that could provide insights into this underground space's historical and functional significance. The data uncovered was remarkable, suggesting several potential spots hinting at multiple treasure caches hidden beneath the money pit area. Motivated by these findings, the team concentrated on a newly drilled hole into what they termed Aladdin's Cave, eager to explore its depths and uncover its contents. The next step involved using a high-definition camera to thoroughly examine the cave. They aimed to verify if the cave was shaped by human hands and to learn more about what it contained. Each image captured by the camera could provide valuable information about Oak Island's subterranean landscape. Rick and Marty Lagina saw these discoveries as the culmination of years of dedication and hard work. Their steadfast belief in the island's hidden treasures spurred them to continue their efforts despite numerous challenges. Blaine Carrick, with his specialized skills in underwater imaging, played a central role in the investigation of Oak Island's underground mysteries. Underground, if the team managed to gain access to the cave, Blaine planned to perform a detailed sonar scan, accurately mapping out the cave's features. This detailed mapping could reveal important information about the cave's structure and origins. Rick Lagina highlighted the significance of the initial camera examination of the cavern. Although the camera provided some insights into the cave, much remained undiscovered. He noted that the camera's scope might be limited, especially in identifying items or structures on the cave floor, which underscored the need for more thorough exploration. Marty Lagina expanded on Rick's observations, stressing the need to establish whether humans naturally formed or constructed the cave. He theorized that if Oak Island's legendary wealth was indeed hidden beneath this cave, it could hold the key to answering some of the island's long, strange historical questions. After identifying what might be human-made structures within Aladdin's cave, the team conducted a comprehensive sonar scan of the cavern. This scan was crucial for accurately determining the cave's dimensions and identifying any tunnels that might lead into or out of the area. The team's decision to use the Echal Logger D710 sonar equipment demonstrated its commitment to utilizing the most advanced technology in its quest. The Echal Logger D710 sonar sensor operates by emitting powerful radar waves that bounce off objects and barriers within the cave, including its walls. These reflected waves are captured and analyzed to construct a detailed three-dimensional representation of the underwater cave, offering researchers a clear picture of Aladdin's cave. This process is essential for accurately determining the structure of the cave and deciding if it is a natural or man-made formation. The comprehensive mapping achieved by the Echal Logger D710 also helps in pinpointing possible connections to other parts of the island, providing valuable information about the cave's overall layout and its role in the broader context of Oak Island. The next morning, the team gathers in the designated meeting area, eager to see the three-dimensional image produced by the sonar scan of Aladdin's cave. The image reveals an exciting development, a potential human-made entrance within what seems to be a naturally formed cave structure. This discovery raises the team's enthusiasm, as it suggests the presence of a concealed room or passage within the cave. However, the exact size and depth of this feature remain unknown, increasing the interest in further exploration of Aladdin's cave. As the team examines the three-dimensional image, discussions ensue about the implications of the human-made entrance and what it could reveal. Rick Lagina is particularly thrilled by the possibility of entering the cave, suggesting that human-made features might be buried under the sediment on the cave floor, potentially indicating a hidden chamber containing valuable items. This possibility motivates the team to plan a thorough and expensive exploration of the cave. Marty Lagina contributes to the discussion by noting that the cave appears to hold items not usually found in natural environments, which supports their belief that they might have discovered a significant archaeological site. Prompted by these findings, the team decides to drill another hole to allow the sonar to reach deeper into the cave and produce more detailed images. This additional drilling will help determine if the cave stands alone or is linked to other chambers or passages. By deepening their understanding of the cave's layout, the team aims to uncover more about its history and find any hidden valuables. The Lagina brothers were close to uncovering historical treasures, the clay that guards Oak Island's riches. The decision to drill another hole is taken after carefully considering the necessary time and resources. Despite the challenges, the team believes the potential discoveries justify the risks involved. They remain dedicated to their project, convinced that each new discovery brings them closer to solving a long-standing historical question. As the operation to reach the potential treasure tunnel beneath the garden shaft progresses, Rick and Marty Lagina actively support Duma Contracting Limited. The crew has reached a depth of 90 to 93 feet, but before constructing the final wooden framework, they need to remove several feet of hard clay. Rick and Marty prepare to assist at this crucial stage of the operation. Marty reflects on their family's ties to Oak Island, recalling that their grandfather once visited the island to work in the mines of Michigan. He describes their efforts on Oak Island as remarkable, underscoring both the historical and personal importance of their work. Descending into the excavation site, Rick and Marty begin the challenging task of breaking down the hard clay using a pneumatic jackhammer. This robust tool, powered by compressed air, effectively breaks up the densely packed clay, allowing for further excavation. Once the clay is sufficiently broken down, the crew from Duma Contracting Limited will use a 3-ton hammer grab tool to clear the debris, clearing the path for the final construction phase. As Rick and Marty Lagina continue their excavation work, they face the difficulties posed by the substantial jackhammers, which weigh between 60 and 70 pounds. Marty notes that the jackhammers frequently get stuck in the clay, increasing the physical demands of the job. During the excavation, Rick makes an unexpected find. He believes he has struck something solid with the bottom of the spade bit, possibly indicating they have reached the long-awaited tunnel. Later that day, Rick, Scott Barlow, and Craig Tester received the news they had been anticipating. Officials from Duma Contracting Limited have successfully deepened the garden shaft to about 95 feet in the money pit area, reaching a tunnel that is reportedly 7 feet high. The tunnel, believed to lead to the so-called baby blob and potentially to a large cache of hidden treasures, is now accessible to the crew as they prepare to explore its depths. They expect to uncover whatever is hidden below. When Rick enters the tunnel, he notices signs of wood, suggesting that there might be a wooden structure further inside. To improve their chances of exploring deeper, they decide to lengthen the tunnel by an additional section, gaining an extra 32 inches of space. As the team digs further, they carefully examine logs that line up with the path of the tunnel. Rick observes that the area beneath one of the logs seems hollow, drawing the interest of the entire team. Encouraged by this clue, they opt to dig even deeper, hoping this new lead might prove fruitful. The presence of circular wooden pieces is particularly notable. These structures hint at similar construction techniques used in the well-known money pit, leading to a wave of speculation about the tunnel's origins. Rick recalls an article from Reader's Digest about the money pit's use of round logs, which strengthens his belief that they are close to a significant discovery. Marty, sharing Rick's optimism, suggests that their 15-year search might be approaching a crucial moment. They might be just a few feet away from the island's original excavation site, where they could potentially find long-awaited answers. Simultaneously, Jack Begley joins forces with Gary Drayton, an expert in detection, at Lot 5 on the island's western side. This recently acquired area quickly becomes one of the most promising sites for treasure hunting on Oak Island. Their initial explorations uncover a stone structure that experts believe could be as ancient as the famed garden shaft. The tools they discover might date back 4 centuries, suggesting a prolonged human presence on the island. One of the most significant finds is half of a Roman coin from 300 BC, which suggests that the island's history extends much further back than previously thought. Among their finds, a large, old square nail from the 1700s stands out. Gary Drayton, with his extensive experience, recognizes its potential importance. Marty believes that Lot 5 might hold crucial clues about who built the strange money pit. New artifacts hint at Oak Island's ancient past, the Knights Templar, and Oak Island. As Gary Drayton and Jack Begley continue their detailed search, they find another noteworthy artifact, a lead coin that is ornately decorated, underscoring its importance. Gary notes its similarity to ancient Roman trade tokens, linking it to the Roman coin found earlier in the same lot. These tokens, used by private businesses instead of governments, helped facilitate commerce centuries ago. The discovery of what appears to be a Roman trade token on Oak Island raises numerous questions about its origin and how it came to be on the island. Deciding to delve deeper into its history, the team sends the artifact back to the lab for thorough examination. Archaeologists will meticulously analyze the token, comparing it with known examples of Roman trade tokens to determine its authenticity and significance. If verified, this find could illuminate the diverse history of those who might have visited or lived on the island centuries before it became a focal point for treasure hunter endeavors. Gary Drayton and Jack Begley, filled with excitement after a noteworthy discovery on Lot 5, gathered with Rick Lagina, Craig Tester, and archaeologist Laren Nean at the Interpretive Center. Their goal was straightforward: to analyze an artifact that might significantly change their understanding of Oak Island's past. Nean took great care in cleaning the item, preparing it for a detailed examination using the team's X-ray fluorescence (XRF) instrument. This technique, gentle yet informative, would allow them to uncover the basic elements that make up the object, offering clues about where it came from and how it was made. Emma, the specialist overseeing the XRF analysis, supervised the artifact scanning. After the procedure was complete, she gathered the team to discuss her initial findings. The item, a lead disc or coin recently found, initially seemed straightforward but presented complex details upon closer inspection. Emma detailed that the disc consisted of 2 layers, a lighter and a darker one. The light layer was almost entirely lead, with tiny amounts of copper and iron, showing it was mainly composed of lead with slight additions of other elements. The darker layer showed a different composition, with a lot of iron at about 41% and smaller portions of copper and silicon. The natural presence of lead in both layers suggested that the material came from mining operations. This led to various questions about where the disc originated and the methods used in its creation. To delve deeper into its makeup and possibly identify where it came from, Emma conducted an X-ray diffraction scan. The outcome was revealing. The minerals in the disk matched those found in Iranian mines, triggering discussions about the disk's potential connections to ancient trading paths or historical mining operations in that area. The impact of these discoveries was considerable. Identifying a mineral match with Iranian mines opened up various theories about connections between Oak Island and distant regions. Although the match did not pinpoint the exact origin of the artifact, it highlighted an area of interest that extended geographically. Emma pointed out that the geological strip running from Iran through to Italy, near France and Spain, contained mineral deposits similar in makeup. Notably, a deposit off the Italian coast closely matched the lead artifact's composition. This insight led the team to consider whether the artifact could have come from Italy. What would this mean for Oak Island's history? Could it support theories that link the island to the Knights Templar, as suggested by scholars like Zena Halper? To probe these questions further, the team decided to consult with experts in ancient metallurgy and historical artifacts to better understand the artifact's importance. The perspectives from these professionals were enlightening. They explained that lead artifacts from ancient Rome were commonly used for a range of purposes, including as trade tokens, seals, and religious objects. Due to the extensive influence of the Roman Empire, such artifacts have been found in various places, demonstrating broad trade networks and cultural interactions. The idea that the lead artifact from Oak Island could be related to Italy and might have served as a trade token or seal suggested that Oak Island could have been part of an extensive trading network that spanned the Mediterranean. This possibility supports the idea that the Knights Templar, known for their trading and financial operations, could have had activities on the island. Additionally, the connection with a Roman coin found earlier added complexity to Oak Island's historical scene, hinting at a significant historical presence that could date back centuries. The team moved to a new site, ready for more discoveries and hidden clues beneath the soil of Lot 13. As the team continued researching the artifact's background and origins, they realized how interwoven historical events could be. Initially just a simple object, the lead disc now appeared as a crucial link to a much more complex and fascinating past than previously thought, prompting them to rethink what Oak Island might represent in the wider scope of history. This realization underscored the importance of their find, propelling their efforts to uncover more about the interconnected nature of historical events and their influence on present understanding. Craig Tester, renowned for his deep involvement in Oak Island's explorations, has once again teamed up with Rick and Marty Lagina, the landowner Tom Nolan, and a group of fellow explorers to continue their work on what is called the Great Quadrilateral. This stone structure, 32 feet in length, was thought by the island's former owner, Fred, to have been constructed many centuries ago. Back in the 1990s, Fred, fascinated by the history of the island, had drawn a detailed plan of this structure. Currently, the team is focusing their efforts on the northeastern section of the structure, hoping to uncover clues about why it was built and its original use. Billy, one of the team members, operates the heavy machinery needed to remove layers of earth from the structure, while Gary meticulously searches through the unearthed soil, looking for any items of interest. Gary believes that the deeper they go, the more likely they are to find something of note. As they dug on Lot 13, where the structure is located, the team found several items that caught their attention. One such item was a piece of charcoal, which they believed could be used to carbon date the structure and thus determine roughly when it was built. This find, though small, was considered potentially very informative. Billy and Gary unearthed a heavy curved object, and Gary, hopeful as ever, guessed it might be a fragment of a cannonball, such items being frequently found in certain areas of the southeast United States. Rick immediately recognized the potential importance of this find. If it were indeed a cannonball fragment, it could suggest who might have been on the island centuries ago. Marty then observed that the area appeared to have been previously disturbed, indicating that perhaps earlier explorers had manipulated the site. He suggested that the stones might have been rearranged to cover something valuable, implying that the stones could have been part of a cache. Encouraged by these findings, the team decided to extend their search to the western part of the site, hoping that this new area might yield more information about the structure. Each discovery added a piece to the legendary tale, bringing them closer to understanding the history of the Great Quadrilateral. However, despite their efforts, conclusive evidence remained elusive, leaving them often with more questions than answers. The search continued, driven by the hope that beneath the next layer of soil, something significant might finally emerge, revealing the long-sought truths about the island's storied past. Everyone on the team acknowledged that there was something unusual about the Great Quadrilateral, which piqued their interest. As they dug deeper, their findings multiplied. They unearthed a fragment of pottery and a piece of glass that might be from a time before the 18th century. These pieces suggested that the site had a richer and more varied history than previously thought, possibly indicating that it had been explored or even settled by people long ago. The discovery of the glass near where the land met the sea indicated previous human activity in that area. Dr. Spooner, the team's expert, determined that they had reached the deepest layer of the structure, corroborating Fred's earlier claim about a structure composed of stacked stones. Each artifact they uncovered seemed to add to their determination to unravel the site's history. As they continued to dig, the thrill of discovery kept the team motivated, urging them to continue their explorations. During the latest investigations into Oak Island's history, sonar technology used in Aladdin's cave identified what seemed to be a constructed entryway, which excited the team. They found wood in the tunnel that seemed to belong to a very old structure, likely part of the original money pit. After 15 years of hard work and digging, the team felt they were on the verge of significant findings. Moreover, a piece of lead found on the site was analyzed and found to contain minerals that linked it to Italy. This finding suggested that there might have been historical trade interactions and possibly even involvement by the Knights Templar in this region. These ongoing explorations and analyses continue to provide valuable insights into the complex history of Oak Island. Stay connected for more detailed updates as the exploration progresses and new theories develop. What role could the Knights Templar really have played in Oak Island's history? Like, comment, and subscribe for more intriguing updates and theories. What do you think?